serene village of Uza, there lived a humble man named Adamu. He and his wife Aisha were the epitome of love despite their poverty. They shared a bond so strong that nothing seemed capable of tearing them apart. Every evening after a hard day's work, they would sit under the baobab tree outside their mud hut, holding hands and talking about their dreams. However, one dream remained unfulfilled. They had no children. Aisha sighed. "Do you think we'll ever have a child?" she asked, her voice tinged with sadness. Adamu squeezed her hand gently. "We will in God's own time," he reassured her. "Our love is our greatest blessing, Aisha, but we shall keep hope alive." The quest for a child led them to herbalists and spiritual healers, but all their efforts were in vain. Yet, they remained hopeful, their love unwavering. They found joy in the small moments, their bond growing stronger with each passing day and hoping against hope for a miracle. Years passed, and they began to lose hope and as such began to resign themselves to a life of childlessness. Then, one sunny morning, Aisha felt a stirring in her womb. She rushed to Adamu, her eyes shining with tears of joy. "Adamu, I think we are going to have a baby," she whispered, barely able to contain her excitement. Adamu's eyes widened. He let out a shout in excitement and with laughter. "Our prayers have been answered." Their happiness knew no bounds. The villagers celebrated with them and they prepared eagerly for the arrival of their child. Adamu built a small crib with his own hands and Aisha sewed tiny clothes. Their home was filled with laughter and hope as they awaited their baby's arrival. Tragedy struck on the day their joy was to be complete. During childbirth, complications arose. Aisha fought bravely, but her life ebbed away as she brought their daughter into the world. Adamu was shattered. His heart broke as he held his newborn daughter Zainab. "She has your eyes, Aisha," he whispered through his tears, kissing the baby's forehead. The village mourned with him, but no comfort could ease his pain. In the days that followed, Adamu plunged into grief. He stared at Zainab, seeing his beloved Aisha in her innocent eyes. Determined to honor his wife's memory, he vowed to cherish and protect their daughter. "I will give you the life your mother wanted for you," he promised, holding her close. Adamu worked tirelessly, balancing his occupation as a farmer with caring for Zainab. The village watched in admiration as he juggled the roles of both father and mother. Despite their loss, Adamu and Zainab, his daughter, shared a bond as deep as the love he had for Aisha. As Zainab grew, she became a reflection of her mother, beautiful, kind, and full of life. The villagers adored her, and she returned their affection with a bright smile. Adamu and Zainab's evening chats became a cherished ritual, filled with laughter and lessons about life. "Father, why do people say we are poor?" Zainab asked one evening. Adamu smiled. "We may lack wealth, my dear, but we are rich in love and happiness. That is what truly matters." Their bond was unbreakable, but their kinsmen soon began pressuring Adamu to remarry. A new wife would bring stability and more children to the family, they argued. Adamu resisted at first, unwilling to disrupt the harmony he shared with Zainab. But the elder's insistence grew relentless. Finally, with a heavy heart, he agreed to take another wife, hoping to provide a better life for Zainab. When Mariam arrived, she seemed kind and caring, but as the days passed, her true nature emerged. She began maltreating Zainab, burdening her with excessive chores. She made her work consistently from morning till evening, denied her adequate food, and even starved her on days when she felt that Zainab did not work hard enough. "Why do you treat me so?" Zainab asked her stepmother one day, with tears in her eyes. She did not understand why her stepmother would hate her without a cause. Mariam smiled contemptuously. "You are nothing but a burden. Your mother died because of you, and I will not let you ruin my life." Zainab would retire to her room and cry herself to sleep. She had never truly known how it felt to have a mother, and she silently prayed that she would someday meet someone that would treat her like her own child. Adamu noticed Zainab's growing sadness and frailty. "Are you all right, my daughter? You seem sad and depressed," he asked. He was worried that his daughter was no longer her cheerful self. Zainab forced a smile. "I am fine, father." She chose to endure Mariam's cruelty in silence, not wanting to create strife in the family. Her friends urged her to speak up, but Zainab remained hopeful that things would change. Mariam dreaded to see Adamu and Zainab chatting and laughing happily in the evenings. The love and bond that they shared made Mariam to loathe Zainab all the more. Consequently, her hostility towards Zainab increased as the days went by. Mariam soon gave birth to twin girls, Amina and Amira. She doted on them, allowing them to live a life of leisure. She raised them to be lazy and indifferent. Meanwhile, Zainab's burden grew heavier as she took on all the household duties, often collapsing from exhaustion. As the twins grew, they inherited their mother's spiteful nature. They joined Mariam in mistreating Zainab, who bore their taunts and insults with quiet dignity. Despite their cruelty, Zainab remained kind and compassionate, hoping to win them over with her goodness. Whenever Adamu scolded the twins for their bad and unacceptable behavior, Mariam would hastily intervene. "You only scold them because you do not love them as you love Zainab," she would say coldly. The tension in the household grew unbearable, with Mariam's jealousy fueling her hatred. She began plotting with her daughters to rid themselves of Zainab once and for all. Mariam and the twins devised a scheme to eliminate Zainab, hoping to secure all of Adamu's love and attention for themselves. Having successfully secured a game plan, they suddenly changed their behavior, becoming uncharacteristically kind to Zainab. Suspicious, but yearning for acceptance, Zainab cautiously welcomed their kindness. One morning, the twins offered to accompany Zainab to the stream. Surprised but hopeful, she agreed, thinking perhaps they were finally warming up to her. As they reached the river, Zainab bent over to fill her clay pot. In a swift, cruel moment, the twins shoved her into the water. Zainab struggled, crying out for help, but the girls watched coldly until she was out of sight. They ran back home, feigning shock and sorrow. Back at the house, the twins sobbed theatrically. Zainab slipped and fell into the river, they cried. Adamu's face paled. "No, not my Zainab." He rushed to organize a search party, but after hours of desperate searching, there was no sign of her. The villagers assumed the worst. Adamu was inconsolable, believing he had lost the last piece of Aisha. Unknown to them, a fisherman had witnessed the horrifying scene from his boat. As soon as the twins left, he dived into the river, rescuing the unconscious Zainab. He brought her to his home in Polka, a neighboring village, where his wife tended to the girl with great care. When Zainab awoke, she was confused and frightened. The fisherman's wife comforted her. "You are safe now, my dear. We found you at the river." Zainab recounted her ordeal, tears streaming down her face. The fisherman and his wife were horrified by her stepmother's cruelty and pledged to protect her. They asked her to live with them so that they could care for her. Zainab, fearful of returning home, agreed to stay with them. The couple treated her as their own daughter. For the first time, Zainab experienced a mother's love and care. She blossomed under their kindness, her joy returning. She became an integral part of their household, loved by the villagers for her gentle and hardworking nature. A few years later, the fisherman's son Ibrahim returned from overseas. Upon meeting Zainab, he was immediately captivated by her beauty and grace. He approached his parents with his intentions. "I want to marry her," Ibrahim declared. His parents smiled. "She is a wonderful girl. We approve, but you must ask her yourself." Zainab agreed, insisting that they first visit her father to inform him of her safety and seek his consent. They set out for her village, Zainab's heart pounding with anticipation. As they arrived, Zainab spotted her father sitting forlornly outside their home. She ran to him, calling out, "Father!" Adamu looked up, disbelief and joy flooding his face. "Zainab, my daughter, you are alive." They embraced, crying tears of relief and happiness. Zainab told him everything, from her near-death experience to the loving care of the fisherman's family. Unaware of what was going on, her stepmother and stepsisters emerged. As soon as they saw her, their faces were pale with shock. They made to elope, but the villagers quickly gathered and stopped them, enraged by the truth. They shamed and banished Mariam and her daughters, ensuring that they would never return. With her father's blessing, Zainab married Ibrahim. Zainab followed her husband back overseas, where they lived in happiness and prosperity. Adamu, now joyous, lived with them, finally at peace. Ibrahim's parents also lived with them. The couple cherished their love, and their family flourished in harmony, living happily ever after. Here are a few lessons we can take away from this story. 1. Endurance and resilience in the face of adversity. Zainab's journey highlights the importance of resilience. Despite facing immense hardship and cruelty from her stepmother and stepsisters, she endures with grace and kindness. Her resilience ultimately leads her to a better life, showing that perseverance can lead to overcoming even the most challenging situations. 2. The power of love and compassion. The love and bond between Adamu and Aisha, and later between Adamu and Zainab, demonstrate the transformative power of love. Even in the face of loss and adversity, love provides strength and a foundation for healing. The compassion shown by the fisherman and his wife to Zainab also underscores the impact of kindness and caring for others. 3. Justice and truth prevail. The story emphasizes that justice and truth ultimately come to light. Despite the malicious actions of Mariam and her daughters, their wrongdoing is eventually revealed and they face consequences. This teaches that evil deeds will eventually be exposed and punished, while goodness will be rewarded. 4. Hope and redemption. The narrative arc from despair to joy demonstrates that hope should never be lost. Zainab's life is marked by trials, but her eventual rescue, acceptance into a loving family, and happy marriage illustrate that there is always potential for redemption and a brighter future, no matter how dark the present may seem. I do hope you enjoyed this story. Please subscribe to this channel, comment, like and share this video. Until I come your way again soon, remain blessed.